Hello, Gemini, and welcome to my channel, Tarot by Gabrielle. This is going to be a general reading for Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus placements, looking at your recent past, your current energy, and your immediate future, answering the question, what do you need to know right now in order to move forward in alignment with your higher self? Friendly reminder that these are general readings and they are not here to resonate fully for everyone, and they won't resonate for everyone. So do please remember to take what does resonate if there is anything that helps your personal situation, and leave what does not. Last thing is that any information on the extended reading or on booking a personal reading or coaching session with me is in the description box below. All right, Gems, let's jump in. We're going to start with looking at overall energy through oracle cards for your past, present, and future energy, and then we're going to dive deeper into tarot as we move through the reading. So let's start, Gemini, looking at energy of your recent past. Expect powerful change. It's time to take action. A time to give rather than take. I feel like the universe, spirit, really pushed you into change in your past energy. Whether it was change that was desired, I'm not so sure. Because I feel like there is overall this energy of having yet to receive, with a time to give rather than take. So definitely this energy of I'm giving a lot, but I'm receiving a little, or not as much as I'm giving. And I feel like you maybe have been in that space for a while. Oh, I also just realized all three of these cards are new moon. Well, this is a new moon eclipse. So this is new moon is all about new beginnings and new energies. And it almost feels like you were really pushed into this new energy in some way. Pushed into change. And I almost feel like you didn't want this change. But I also feel that this change is for the best in some way. Now, I'm not saying that it's something you need to be grateful for, that it's necessarily good. Like, I'm not sitting here saying what's happening to you, like, is good or it's supposed to feel good. But maybe it kind of feels like where it's leading you is, like, to a good place. But I do feel like this feels difficult. This feels heavy. I don't necessarily know what it is, and I feel like I'm not really supposed to know. It's your reading after all, but let's see what we've got for your current energy, Gemini. You are good enough. Okay. So we're doubting our worth. We're doubting ourselves. We're doubting our confidence in this energy. And I feel like it's a result of what you've been going through. Confidence is your key to success. So we're really doubting ourselves right now, Gemini. Let me see what else we've got. I feel like there's one more card. A fiery climax approaches. So I don't necessarily know what this was. Maybe, an ending of some sort. Maybe there's a lost job or a lost relationship. Like something that changed. It doesn't need to be an ending. Those are just the examples, because I feel like it could be something else too, but those are just the examples that are coming to mind. And I feel like because of this change that you were forced into, that I don't feel you wanted to make or you wanted to happen, you're really doubting yourself now, maybe even doubting where you're headed. You know, a lot of times when things don't go according to our plan or don't play out in the way that we thought that we needed them to, we start to doubt that we're going to be able to be happy or have the relationship that we deserve or the success that we desire. And it is important for you to know here that all of the things that you desire are ahead of you. So I feel like you have more ahead of you than you do behind you. So even if things didn't go according to plan, I feel, and that's the biggest thing, is I do feel like they're working out for your highest good. I kind of get this vibe that it doesn't feel like that though. I get the vibe that it doesn't feel like that at all. And I don't want to downplay what you're going through, take away from the experience of what you're going through and just saying, oh, it's all working out. Like, just chill out. Like, it's fine. No, that's not real life. That's not realistic. That's also not healthy. So again, I'm not trying to take away from what you're going through, but maybe provide a little bit of perspective, maybe even a little bit of hope that, it might, things really, I am a firm believer that everything happens for a reason. In a good reason at that. When I say everything happens for a reason, I truly mean everything happens for a good reason. And I think that some of the harder things that we go through in life, some of the most challenging times that we do experience have the potential to turn into some really good things too. Doesn't take away from the bad or the negatives associated, but can provide a little bit of purpose to the experience that we're having. So let's see, what can Gemini expect? Oh, and then this was new moon and this was full moon. So it kind of feels like you're closing out a really intense cycle of some sort. What does Gemini need to know? Oh, okay. A personal issue reaches resolution. So this is solution energy. Don't let pride get in your way. And then you have adjustments are required. And then this card is poking out to hold your vision here. And then conclusions are within reach. So I feel like this is a solution to a problem. This thing has been popping off of my sweatshirt all day, but this thing is just so cozy. I don't want to change. So I might be messing with that throughout the reading, so I apologize. But sometimes in order to get the solution that we desire, it has to come about in a way that's different than what we had thought or expected. So like something that comes to mind is we want to find, success in a job, but we lose our job. We start to doubt whether or not the success that we desire is possible, when in reality, there's a different path to that same success, to the outcome, just a different way. Same kind of thing goes for relationships. We lose this relationship that we thought was going to be the one or was the best we've ever experienced, or we thought that was going to be the path to the love that we deserve and desire, and then that falls apart. We start to doubt that we can never have that, when in reality we're actually being led to what is possible. Sometimes things don't work out because they're working out in a way that aligns with what you desire, but it's just different than you expected, because sometimes things are not capable of being what it is that we desire. So I feel like to get to this solution, this resolution, whatever this is, the outcome that you're looking for, adjustments were required. But this don't let your ego get in the way, or it says don't let your pride get in the way. I didn't mean to say ego. Don't let your pride get in the way. I feel like that pride and ego, I feel like can be very interchangeable. When we start to see things through the lens of our small self instead of our higher self, we start to see things through the lens of our fear and our insecurity and our doubt, which is human nature. It's natural. It's not something to, there's no need to add shame to it. But, not letting ourselves get so stuck in that fear that things can't happen or that nothing good can happen, that we start creating that for ourselves. So I feel like, especially if these conclusions are within reach, and then underneath that, you're very close to achieving your goal. I feel like you're actually closer to some sort of outcome that you desire than you were here, which you might be like, well, how's that possible? I wanted the love that I desire and I was in a relationship and I'm not in a relationship. Well, maybe that relationship wasn't capable of being what it is you truly desire. So now the universe is leading you to one that is. That's what this really feels like. It feels like divine redirection, divine protection, which is a difficult thing in the moment, but we're always able to see that perspective when we get to where we're going. So I will say I'm like out of breath in this reading. I feel like there's a lot of like heaviness in the air right now in your energy, Gemini, and I think that that's completely understandable. But this future energy feels a little lighter. A little more like, that's the best way to describe it. Okay, overall theme of this reading for Gemini, please. What does Gemini need to know about what they're going through in order to move forward in alignment with their higher self? Maybe. Magic. Seems like new life. So this is another sign of like a new beginning or it's not like a full new life. It's not like your life is ending and you're stepping into a new life. Okay. I feel like that card can bring a lot of anxiety for some people who are already stressing. This feels like, because new life to me is like new experiences, new places, new people, like just new energy, right? And this magic card to me is all about, it's like when you get to where this is taking you, almost feels like magic. Like it feels divine. And I think that's what I was trying to say is like sometimes, and I know this has been true for me many, many times in my life. I think things need to be a certain way or need to go a certain way. And when they don't go that way, it's like, oh my gosh, there's all this anxiety. Am I going to be okay? Am I going to find, something better? Are things going to ever work out the way that I want? Because the path that I once saw to whatever outcome is no longer there. So then I start to, allow that to take over. But then I get to where it's trying to take me and I look back and I go, thank God things didn't work out the way that I wanted them to, because it worked out even better than I thought. And it's literally like, okay, I get it now. I get divine protection. I get redirection, but you don't get it. You don't see it. You don't feel it. You don't experience it until you get there, which is what makes it hard. Because you have to go through that journey, right, of being in the unknown and being confused and not having the answers. But that's where you create it. The faith that you have, the confidence that you have, that's why you have confidence as your key to success. So again, I don't want to take away from what you're going through, but just trying to help you see or find the perspective that things are working out better than you think they are. In the big picture, grand scheme of things. Okay. So let's dive into this. Let's get a little bit deeper here, Gemini. Let's start with this past energy. If it's time to take action and expect powerful change. So pushed into change. This change feels like you've gotten further away from a goal, from an outcome, but you're actually closer. And you might be like, how is that possible? I don't really know. I feel like that's just going to depend on like your situation and how things are unfolding. Goodness sakes. Okay, past energy here for Gemini. Seven of Cups. So definitely an energy of feeling lost. which I think was a result of whatever change happened here. Two of Pentacles in reverse. Hermit. Why did I say Nine of Swords? For some reason I thought the Hermit. Six of Swords in reverse. So feeling lost and feeling stuck. It's definitely an overwhelming energy. But like, what happened? I'm having a hard time with what this is trying to piece together. Give me a second. I always get it. Because the Two of Pentacles in reverse is all about priorities that are needing to be balanced out. Like prioritizing the wrong things or prioritizing, under prioritizing important things. Three of Swords. Man, Gemini, what are you doing? This has been painful. And I said that from the beginning. I said this has been painful, but there's the Three of Swords. What happened? Why? I don't... Who's triggering? Oh, loss. So it was loss. Now, loss doesn't always mean an ending. It can, for sure, feel like that. Okay. Let me clarify this Two of Pentacles in reverse really quick. So, I feel like whatever happened back here, it feels, to be quite honest with you, pretty unfair. Like there's definitely this, like, oh, I didn't deserve that, or I deserved better, or things, should have worked out better than I thought. Oh, the Emperor with the Ace of Pentacles, the Two of Wands. Okay. And then the Five of Cups. So there's a lot of disappointment surrounding how something played out. A lot of disappointment and a lot of loss, grief, sadness, all the stuff. And you're absolutely valid in all of those feelings. But then it's so weird because this energy of the Emperor and the Ace of Pentacles and the Two of Wands is like totally opposite of that. This is about alignment. This is opportunities. This is power. And I feel like this is the energy that was inaccessible in the places or in the situations that you were in. It's almost like this went away so this could replace it. And I feel like, a lot of times when I see that, I think every loss is the opportunity for a gain. Every ending is the opportunity for a new beginning. Every heartbreak is the opportunity for a joy, to experience joy. It's the dichotomy of life. You can't have the good without the bad. And I feel like you guys have been going through kind of like a dip. You talk about the roller coaster of life. You've been going through a dip here. But I feel like it's pushed you into change that was like necessary in some way. Changes that you wouldn't have made otherwise. And I think that a lot of times, we don't make change because we think that we're exactly where we want to be, right? We think we're in that job we want to be or that relationship we want to be in. But then, there's a loss or there's an ending or something happens and things fall apart, and we immediately jump to the conclusion, because we as humans have a tendency to jump to the conclusion, to conclusions, that this must mean that the possibility that I saw in whatever this is, this job, this relationship, is no longer there. It doesn't exist anymore. Since things didn't work out, that must mean it's never going to work out. We jump to that conclusion because, again, we tend to see things through the lens of our small self. We tend to see things through the lens of our ego. But our ego is always looking at things through the lens of, if I can control it, then I can avoid a fear. If I don't have control and there's an unknown and things are unpredictable, that must mean my fears are coming true. Since this relationship didn't work, that must mean I'm going to be alone forever. Since this job fell apart, or I lost this job, that must mean I'm going to end up homeless on the street and I'm never going to have the money that I need. We have this tendency to jump to worst case scenarios, to conclusions. Now, again, I don't want to downplay what you're going through. Okay, so I don't want to take away from the experience and say you should feel this or you shouldn't feel that, because that is not the point of any of this. You need to feel exactly how you feel. The point of this reading, and just the readings that I do in general, is perspective, to try to look at things from a different place and from a different perspective. And I feel like as you're progressing it's going to become more and more clear why things played out the way that they did. And I think that you'll see that when you get to the other side. I really, really do. Because again, it's like this was inaccessible, like aligned opportunities with what you like really deserve, truly desire. This was inaccessible in this energy. Now with the removal of this energy, there's now room for this. There's space for this. So what does Gemini need to know right now? So there's a lot of self-doubt. There's a lot of doubting yourself, doubting the universe, doubting your path, all completely understandable. But let's see. What does Gemini need to know about this energy? The dang Hermit. Again. We're focusing way too heavily on temporary circumstances. The King of Cups. Okay, in reverse. Our emotions are getting the better of us. Oh gosh. But okay, the closer you get to an end of a cycle, I will say this until the day I die, the closer you get to the end of a cycle, the worse that things feel. The closer you get to a positive change, the harder things are. The closer you get to the dawn, the darker the night, okay? And I feel like that's where you're at right now. You're at the end of a really tough, really intense, really challenging cycle. And things feel really freaking not good right now. And that's why, like, I don't want to take away from that, okay? But the cliches, the sun always rises, tomorrow always comes, things can always get better, and all of those things are true. But if we aren't careful, if we fall too much into the trap of allowing the darkness and the fear to overcome us, we might end up finding ourselves creating a reality that aligns with nothing can ever get better. The best is behind me. I'm never going to be happy. Maybe in the next life, all of these things. And that's a natural response to going through difficult times. So I'm not saying I don't understand it. What I am saying is that, and one of the most challenging aspects of a spiritual journey, of a growth journey, of life, is to overcome every single period of darkness with light. Right now, things feel heavy. Right now, it feels impossible. Right now, there's darkness. There's literally, and I feel like that's why this Hermit keeps coming out, because you see he has this lantern, right? It's like being in this dark, dark tunnel. All you've got is a teeny tiny little battery-powered kid's flashlight. It's not a lot, but it's something. And it's literally feeling your way one step at a time through the darkness and through the unknown, and understanding that there is another side, that you can overcome this, that you will get to where you're going as long as you don't stop moving forward. The only thing that can ever hold us back for good, the only way that failure is ever final, that loss is ever final, or that it ever becomes a destination, is when we stop moving. Because loss and failure are never destinations. They're always an indication that we are in the middle of a journey. And you're in the middle of a journey. You're closing out such a difficult cycle right now. And I know how difficult those periods can be. But this is a time to not stop moving forward. If you need to rest, rest. If you need to take a break for a second, take a break. With the intention that I'm going to keep moving forward. I'm going to keep putting one foot in front of the other. I'm going to keep getting to where I deserve to get. You have a lot of reasons to give up. You have a lot of reasons to doubt. You've got all of those, okay? But you also have a lot of reasons to not give up, and you have a lot of reasons to not doubt, and that's what you're really being called to lean on. That little flashlight, that little light is your faith. The darkness, the tunnel that you're in, it's your fear. It's your anxiety. It's the not so fun side of life. That little flashlight is your faith. And it's gonna get you through if you allow it. So I feel like, one of the most difficult periods of my life ended up being one of the best experiences to ever happen to me. Does that mean I want to go through it again? No, absolutely not. It was horrible, like I said. But it also pushed me to understand that every not so great period of our life, if we allow it, is always leading us to something better. We can always transmute that fear into faith, that pain into healing, that anger into joy. All of it is capable of being transmuted. So with that, confidence is your key to success. I feel like this is kind of like a don't stop believing kind of reading. I don't think that I'm speaking to a collective that necessarily plans on giving up. So I don't necessarily feel that. I feel like you guys just kind of need a little nudge in the perspective side of things, trying to believe that things are working out for your highest good. Sometimes some of God's greatest gifts, the universe's greatest gifts, are unanswered prayers. Things not going according to plan can often be a blessing in disguise. All those cliches that are cliches for a reason. But what does Gemini need to know moving forward? Because then you get this outcome, resolution. And the change that you went through is what was required to get to this. What does Gemini need to know moving forward? Okay, that's hilarious. It's just funny seeing them come out in the cards. I mean, look at that. You, the Queen of Swords. You have the Fool. Okay, new beginning. You've got the Ten of Pentacles. There's the Abundance, and there's the Chariot, which is all about success and finding your way and forward movement. I mean, this is what's ahead of you. It's all good. It's all positive. It's all exciting. It's fulfilling. Queen of Swords can be you, whether you're male or female. It doesn't matter. We've all got male or female energy in us. This is where you're headed. It just, right now, this is it's so unknown. It doesn't feel possible in your current perspective, in your current reality. And I'm not saying you're not wrong. I'm not saying you're wrong for feeling that way. But on the other side of this journey, this is not just the light at the end of the tunnel. This is like freaking finding Narnia. I don't know, however you want to put it. And I feel like this wouldn't be able to happen unless you went through this. There's a purpose for this. There's a purpose for this journey. There's a purpose for what you're going through. There's a purpose for it. And it's going to lead you to what you couldn't find back here. You wouldn't be able to have this if you weren't going through this. So, I don't know. I just feel like, I literally said it. Finding the solution, finding the outcome that you desire, but because of the adjustments that were made. This is divine redirection. This is it. This is like the whole thing that I talk about all the time. Yeah, I don't even know what else to... I feel like this can only not happen if you give up, right? Confidence is your success. It's your key to success. Believing in the possibility, believing in your Ten of Pentacles, knowing it can happen for you. Because it can happen for you. Absolutely, it can happen for you. Every single step that we take in this life is part of a bigger journey. It's part of something bigger. And when we lose sight of that, we get so stuck in what's temporary and honestly, what doesn't even really matter in the grand scheme of things. It doesn't mean that it doesn't matter to you, okay? But sometimes we get so stuck in how things are that we forget that it's part of getting us to where things can be. If we forget that, we might stay stuck there. If we stop moving forward, if we allow loss, if we allow failure to be final, you might get stuck there. But if you keep moving forward and keep believing that the universe is guiding you to your highest good in a way that you might not be able to comprehend right now, you're going to get there. I'm going to hop on over to the extended. The extended is going to be what you need to do right now to ensure you're moving forward in alignment with your higher self. So this is what you need to know. extended is what you need to do. Any information for that is in the description box below. Thank you so much, Gemini, as always, for your support of my channel. I do obviously hope that this reading helped and resonated with you in a way that you were needing today. And as always, I wish you nothing but love and healing and all of the wonderful things that you deserve and desire on your journey moving forward. All right, bye, Gemini.